Hello everyone, MB here, and welcome back to a new video. And it has been revealed that Duskull from Cosmic Eclipse has been banned from the expanded format thanks to the new Duskull ops. So, amid all the world news, TPCI and creatures have announced that Duskull from 2019's Cosmic Eclipse will be banned from the expanded format starting September 27th. So, you do have a wee bit while, I guess, depending on when this video goes up, to continue to play this deck basically expanded, but it will not be around for much longer. This is due to the release of Duskull from Shrouded Fable, of course, whose ability makes it easy to donk your opponent. So in case you don't know what's going on here, basically this Duskull has an ability. It says once in your turn, you may discard 3 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it. Then shuffle your deck. So it doesn't specify that you can't use this on the first turn of the game, basically. So you can use this to evolve into Dusclops and basically use Curse Blast. So you can KO Dusclops, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're giving your opponent all these prize cards because you can just place a load of 5 damage counters, basically, and donk Pokemon. So they stated the reason for the ban, which is basically just going over what I've just mentioned, but with the release of Dusclops and Shrouded Fable, it became very possible to win the game on the first turn, when going first by using Duskull's Spirit-Born Evolution ability to evolve into Dusclops. By getting enough Dusclops into play, players can use many Curse Blast abilities to knock out the opponent's opponent's only Pokemon in play, and win the game very quickly. Many cards are required to assemble the combo that allows the strategy to be dangerous, but Duskull has the lowest overall impact on other strategies that are used in the expanded format, so it was chosen to be banned. Which I think is a really interesting way of phrasing it, because it kind of implies that if something doesn't affect more than one archetype, if it's just affecting one problematic deck, then it's probably not going to be banned. It is probably only going to be banned if it affects one thing. So I'll just read that again. Many cards are required to assemble the combo that allow the strategy to be dangerous. That's the same with a lot of very powerful expanded decks. But Duskull has the lowest overall impact on other strategies. Interesting. So I guess things like double dragon energy, which affect a lot of things, are probably not going to ever be banned then, unless they get super, super, super toxic. But the thing is, this is interesting news in the regards that it obviously means that they still care, at least to some degree, about expanded. There has been some concerns lately that Pokemon only really care about expanded for Japan. They host tournaments over there, but they don't really bother with anywhere else. You can find unofficial tournaments online and stuff, but aside from that, there's not really been any care put into the format, and as a result, it's become fairly competitive, I would say, at least on a tournament level. You've got a lot of players who are going to show up with some of the most toxic decks known to man. Like, it's just a preference for me personally. Like, I get why people still really like expanded. I'm not going to bash anyone for enjoying it. I do like expanded to some regard, but I also don't have fun, losing turn one to, random stuff and like Regidrago control and things like, well, not Regidrago control, but control decks, Regidrago V-Star, that kind of thing. Not really that fun to play against and expanded for me personally, but I can see the appeal, and if enough people like it, then can't really say much against it. It's just what the people want, I guess. But it's a bit of a weird thing to talk about, of course, because I know that a lot of people, even if we did have full expanded around, probably wouldn't play it, to be honest. Yeah. So I'll just read this comment over here. Expanded, expanded. Oh, you mean that dead format no one plays anymore because no one hosts expanded at any relevant competition that matters for champion points. They killed it on the remaining inferior TCG playing app because it has an incomplete list of cards available, etc. And they care about someone potentially donking someone in a format no one plays because of them. To be fair, I think this was banned because it's easy to see the effect on it, because this is a combo that is legal on TCG Live Expanded, right? Like we do have Sun and Moon. It's not like we have X and Y. If there was a lot of very powerful XY donk decks that were being played continuously on TCG Live, I think Pokemon would do something about them. But the fact that this is very much a noticeable new combo that is also being affected by Sun and Moon Expanded, then I think that's why it's getting a bit more attention from Pokemon, basically. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to see actually how this would affect Expanded going forward, just in the sense that we could see more people playing it, I guess, if they think that Pokemon will eventually sanction more events. They will put more effort into promoting the format. Maybe eventually, fingers crossed, I guess, we get the full expanded on TCG Live, but honestly, I don't see that happening anytime soon at all. I just don't. Not with the state TCG Live is constantly in. It really does feel at this point that for every bug that's introduced, or every bug that gets fixed, I should say, it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I just don't see expanded ever being added really in the future. Like, not in the near future, at least. It's just so many cards, so many potential bugs and interactions. Like, it would just be game breaking, basically. Unless they did a complete overhaul of TCG Live, new game engine, new dev team properly, new everything, then I really don't see it working out. But which is a bit of a shame, really, because there was a lot of fun stuff to be had out of Expanded. But of course, it's just one of those things where TCG Live is not in the state to be accepting it. But yeah, I can kind of see why this card got banned, to be honest. It's one of those things where it's like, well, you can definitely see how this could become very toxic very quickly. Although, like, the penalty of discarding 3 cards from your hand does seem very annoying, to be honest, to have to do that multiple times on the first in the game. But I guess draw engines are pretty aggressive, even in turn 1. So yeah, let me know what you think of this down below. I don't think this will make too much of a difference to the state of Expanded, but at least it does show that they still care, and hopefully this means we'll see proper events come back and, go on from there. I really don't know what else they could ban from Expanded, really, but, I guess that's a topic for another day. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. It's been our power, and as always, thank you for watching.